Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Natasha. Welcome and I hope you watch to the end. Before I start, if you know you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel and support me. Thank you. Today we're going to be talking about the requirements you need to start driving in Canada, like from another country, Ghana to be specific. I get this question a lot. Like, how did you start driving? When did you start driving? What did you do? How did you do it? Yada yada yada. Today, I'm going to address everything. This video is going to be up for forever until YouTube decides to take it down. So whenever you have your questions, you can always come back, watch, and go and do what you have to do. Before I start, let me be clear. This video is specific to me. What I did. It doesn't mean that's what everybody's gonna go through. Okay, let's get into the video. When I was in Ghana, I was already driving. I had a Ghanaian driver's license. So that was a big advantage for me. Because when you first come to Canada, they have a system. They have a system you have to follow to get your driver's license. If you come to Canada without a driver's license from back home, they have something called a G1, which is the written part of the driver's exam, then a G2, which is the road test, and a G. So it starts from G1, G2, and G. G1 is the written part, and you have to pass that one before you can move to G2. Do you get? So with G1, I downloaded an app on App Store. I'll put it up so you see it. And it just gives me like the road signs, the rules. Then there are some tests that you can take and quizzes to prep yourself. But I took it like 3 times and I felt I was ready. You might go 4 or 5 times, but I took it 3 times and I felt I was ready to take the test. So I went to the drive test center. I told them I wanted to take a G1. I went with an ID. At that time, it was my passport. So I took my passport there. I filled out a form. They ask questions about your driving experience if you already have a driver's license back home and all that. So you fill it out. If you have problems with your vision, then you go and take the test. It's a two-part test. You have to pass the two to pass and get your G1. So I was prepared for the test. So I took the test, passed it, and I got my G1. Now, on the form that I was asked to fill before my test, they ask if you have any driving experience. If you have driving experience, you have to indicate that yes. And driving experience, they don't mean do you know how to drive. Even if you know how to drive, what shows that you know how to drive? You have to have a driver's license from back home. So I had my driver's license from back home. I had it like a year before I came. So with that, I have 1 year driving experience. If I did not have any driving experience back home, after writing your G1, you would have to wait a year. But if you decide to go to a driving school in Canada, you would have to wait for 8 months. So you'd have to wait for a year before you can take your road test. But because I had driving experience back home and I had my driver's license with me here in Canada, so I didn't have to wait a year. Now, just having your driver's license from back home does not guarantee you not waiting a year because anybody can go and forge something and bring it and say, this is my driver's license from back home. So you need something we call a letter of authentication. That letter you have to go to in Ghana, DVLA, and ask them for a letter of authentication. They know that, so it's not hard for you to get it. I was in Canada, so I called my dad and he got it for me and they sent it to me as a soft copy. I printed it out here and I sent it to the drive test center and they added my driving experience on file. So with my driving experience added on file, I was now eligible to book a road test. But here's the case. I had from when I started driving to now, it was almost 3 years of driving experience. And with that, I was eligible to take a G because it is after you take your G1, you wait a year, take your G2, which is your road test, like the beginner's road test. Then after a year, you can go and take your G. G is the final one that you take, like is the high class driver's license for regular road driver's license. So because I was driving in Ghana for a long time, I had more experience. So I was qualified to go and write a G. So I booked the G. This was the mistake I made. I don't know. I booked the G and I started taking classes. There are so many driving instructors around that you book with them and they charge you by the hour. So I took driver's lessons and all, but I failed my G. Like the G is the highway test, the one they take you on the highway and they test you there. But with the G2 is the regular one where you just drive in the town, do the basic things like a parallel parking, the 3 point turn, and those kind of things. I should have just relaxed and gone to do my G2. After a year, I can do my G because the difference between, I don't even know the main difference between a G2 and a G. Because even with a G2, you still drive on the highway. It's just like a G. But I think the G2 is more for beginners. I think I should have done that. So after I failed my G, which was driving on the highway, I had to come and take a G2 because I couldn't attempt to take a G anymore. You have to take a G2, and then after a year, you go and take your G. But that was like the whole thing that I did. It's not anything hard, it's not anything complicated. You can come here and take the test and do it. Even as a visitor, you can still get a driver's license. You don't need all blah blah. No, you don't need that. It's very easy. Don't let anybody lie to you or anything. My advice to you is that as you're home right now, start working on your driver's license. If you have plans to travel, you should start working on. I know some of you are thinking, well, I'm not going to buy a car right now. I don't need a license right now. You do. You do need a license right now because in this country, everything is about identification. So it's better to take the G1, which is the written part. You just have to download the app. You don't even have to download the app. If you go on YouTube and you search G1 questions, you can just learn it, pass it, and get the test. Because when you pass your G1, they send you an identification like a G1, it's a card. So with that, you can move about freely without carrying your passport. As an international student, you cannot risk taking your passport everywhere because your passport has your visa in it. You cannot be taking it everywhere. You want to go out to the club, you need identification. You cannot carry your passport there. Then you are coming home and you are drinking. Somebody snatched your bag. Your passport is gone. So you need to get this G1. Even if you don't want to get a G2, that's okay. But you need to get this G1 and have an identification because most of the things we do here, they'll ask, can I get a piece of ID? Not will be you passport. Girl, boy. So you should definitely get your. So if you don't want to get it, that's fine. If you want more questions about the G1, slide into my comment section. Anyways, this was just a quick video and I hope you have the information that you want to have and you take it. But go and do your license in Ghana. I know you are driving without license. That's why I'm not shouting. Go and do it to help you if you plan on traveling. Even if you never know, just do it and post it. And maybe your dad is trying to surprise you with a trip to Canada, but you don't have license. So when you come, you can't drive. And yeah, one advantage of also doing your license in Ghana, when you come here, maybe you are coming to visit and you don't want to go through this whole thing, you can always get an international driver's permit, an IDP. So with that, when you come, you can drive, but it's just valid for a year. So if you're coming as a visitor in, you can bring your international driver's permit and come and use here. But even with that, you still need to have a Ghanaian driver's license before you can get that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video to the end. I hope it was light in Edu. I hope it was very informative, and if you have any questions, like I said, just drop them in the comment section. You know you like this video. You know you want to subscribe. So what are you waiting for? Why are you being so stingy with subscription? Eh? Fine boy, fine girl. Subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.